Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to our beloved lecturer, Sir Muhammad Noor. Now, our group are going to present to you about the football heading and shooting analysis. Before we start our presentation, I want to introduce myself and my teammates' name. My name is Nabil Najmuddin bin Hari Anwar, and my teammates are Muhammad Aiman Fikri bin Nur Azmi, Hazim Ashraf bin Zainal, Muhammad Amsyar bin Iman, Ahmad Arshad bin Muhammad Izal, and Ahmad Hadif Shakir bin Ahmad Isham. Let's start. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I will continue with the first slide, which is movement of the skill in shooting the balls. Right, as you can see from this slide, professional soccer players kick soccer balls as fast as 70 miles per hour. It is because they have trained every day and they have sharpened their technique in shooting at the training. There are a few mistakes that can occur in shooting the balls. They are bad angle, bad planting, and striking the wrong part of the ball. Right. These few mistakes can occur in the game because the player have the high level of arousal because of the surrounding, such as the coach that yelling at them, the opponent that pressure them, and the fans. Right. I will continue with this slide, which is muscle or bone involvement in shooting the ball. Basically, there are three phases in shooting the ball, which are approaching the ball and preparing to shoot. For the second phase is swing forward and contact the ball, and the third phase is follow through after making the contact. Alright, for the first phase, the muscle or bone that involved in this phase is glutes, quadriceps, hamstrings, and shoulders. For the second phase is glutes, hamstrings, adductors that control hips, plantar flexor that flex our ankles, and for the third phases is hamstrings and hip adductors.
Okay, the next slide is about task analysis for shooting. As you can see, there is a picture of subject want to make a shootings. So the legs is before the angles of leg is before the shooting started. Okay, basically the angles of the legs is 86 degree. Okay, the next is the second part of the task analysis for shooting. Okay, the next part when the subject is make shooting, as you can see the angles of the leg is 90 degrees and the balls are when 140.55 cm away from the starting the position of the subject of shooting.
Okay, next is form of motion. First one is linear motion. When you about linear motion is the greater the applied impulse, the greater the increase in velocity. Right? When you apply impulse through the leg when you're shooting, you make the increase in velocity of your feet, your leg, and the ball. Next is the harder the player kicks the ball, the faster the ball will travel towards the target. So when you kick the ball power with a big amount of power, the ball will travel a bit will travel faster towards the target. Next is angular motion. Angular momentum is constant when an athlete or object is free in the air. The only time player kicking the ball is in the air is during the follow through. When the follow through, angular momentum is there. So you follow through, the power will release through the follow through. Okay, next.
Frame of segment. Okay, firstly, stage one, the approach. This stage is consecutive to the mental progression. Set play, shot, cross, touch to the outside of the foot, kicking the ball to create an angle. Next, 2. Foot planting. Determine the direction of the kick done in the sagittal plane. Result of knee extension in stride and the plantar flexion. Plantar flexion may proceed to dorsiflexion based upon circumstances or stage of the kick. Next is cocking of kicking limb, power producing movement. Knee flexion is the main component. Plantar flexion in the kicking foot, hip extension possible to hip abduction. Last but not least, the swing, knee extension, hip flexion, plantar flexion. This is an explosive anaerobic movement.
Next is step of maximizing performance. First, kinetic, they have 5 points. First is the approach. When you want to shoot the ball, the approach is you accelerate towards the ball, and which angle do you want to shoot. Then the best angle is about 30 degrees to shoot. Next is support leg and pelvis. For your information, the support leg is your non-shooting foot, because when you want to shoot your non-shooting foot, for example, you shoot it with your right leg, so the left leg support at the ground, so you can swing more and shoot faster. Next is hip flexion and knee extension. So hip flexion is the power supply then transfer to your leg, so that can give more power and acceleration towards your ball. Next is foot contact. The foot contact is the most important, because you want to shoot the ball, you must foot contact to the ball. So make sure your ankle is locked, so the foot contact will more area to shoot the ball when your ankle is locked. Last one is follow through. Follow through is you release your foot after you shoot, because when you release your foot, all the pressure to your leg, to your hip, release to the ball. Okay, next is for kinematic. Is during the approach, the hip will extend. So you can see at the picture, you can see the approach. Your hip will extend to back. Then because you want keep the power through all to your leg. And second one is place the hip at the right angle. When you place the hip at the right angle, the more accuracy when you shoot the ball, and the more accurate to your aim.
The technique of skill performance. Observe the goalkeeper position. If they left a gap that you can exploit, select the best technique of your shot. A side foot shot will have greater accuracy, but an in-step laces will good follow through will have greater power. Put your non-kicking foot alongside the ball. Keep your head down, your eyes on the ball when striking. Keep your body over the ball. Make contact with the middle to the top half of the ball. Maintain your position, and last but not least, follow through.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And my name is Ahmad Arshad bin Muhammad Rizal, and I'm from class NSR 1134B. And today I would like to present about the movement of the skill in heading. So basically, heading is used Newton's second law of motion, because Newton's second law of motion is a quantitative description of the changes that a force can produce on the motion of the body. So the time rate of change of the momentum of the body is equal in both magnitude and direction to the force. So basically, heading when the ball hits the forehead and the ball changes the direction and accelerates, it uses second law of motion. So the common mistake that players do is when they heading, they're taking their eyes off of the ball at last second. So it cannot contact in the center of the forehead and not use upper and lower body perfectly. Okay, the next is muscle or bone involvement. So there is two, jumping movement and head movement. So this jumping movement mostly on the lower body and take place in sagittal plane about transverse axis, involve the hip, knee and ankle joints. So the muscle is uh, used is quadricep, hamstring, gluteus and calf. For the head movement, when he hits the ball, so sternocleidomastoid muscles contribute to stabilization of the head and trunk and affect ball velocity. So next is trapezius also support the head movement and mostly is for upper body. Okay, that's all from me and my friend will uh, continue for the next slide.
Of heading, basically, in this video, there is a video of the subject want to make headings. Okay. Okay. So basically, the video is in the slow motion. So as you can see, there is a line that represent the movement of the subject want to make a heading. So and then you can see there is a 269 pixel. That means to convert in cm is 7 cm. The degrees of the heading is 90 degree, and then the height the balls went to 176.193 cm. The ball far away from the starting position of heading.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Hazim Ashraf bin Zaino. I'm from class SR134B. Okay, right now I will explain to you, present to you my part in this presentation. Okay, firstly is form of motion for heading skill. So it includes linear motion and angular motion. For linear motion, the heading skill use a linear motion as the ball will move in straight line. The motion of the ball move along a line and not curve known as rectilinear. Then the momentum occurs when the ball contact between his head and the ball. After that, for the angular motion, this motion occurs in constant when the ball is free on the air. Okay. So for the fragment segment of heading skill, they are including 5 segments or 5 movement plane. Firstly, standing position. The player will ready in standing position and look at the ball coming. Secondly, jumping position. The player will prepare to jump before the ball goes to your body and running a little bit if the ball is too high. Okay, the third movement is lean back position. It is to create force and momentum before contact to the ball. And the fourth, hitting position, use forehead as the basic skill to perform the hitting skill. And lastly, for the movement of fragment segment is landing position, landing with both feet to control the balance of the body. So that's for frame segment of. Okay, for step for maximizing the skill performance, they are including kinetic and kinematic. So for kinetic, it use the suitable force, apply during jumping in order to perform hitting skills. The forehead level must at the center of the ball in order to create a good momentum during contact. Running before jumping will help to create force in order to jump more higher to hit the ball. So the picture at the side is the example of the skill. So continue. Lean back and bring the foot back during jumping to build more momentum before the ball contact the player's head. As you can see at this picture, Ronaldo. Okay. And then the impulse force they produce must be higher by follow through hitting the ball rather than stopping the hitting through the impact, because we want to maintain the contact between the player's forehead and the ball as long as possible to create maximum possible force be imparted upon the ball. And then landing with both feet and slightly bend your knees after land, because we want to increase the time duration of the interaction, and at the same time we reduce the impulse force that be imparted to the player's feet and knee joint after the landing to prevent any injuries that occur to players itself. Okay, for the kinematic, increase the linear distance of the ball so the ball can directly move to the targeted direction for attacking heading. After that, heading at the center of the ball will easily direct the ball. And then horizontal component of the ball as the motion relates to the distance the projectile travels is important during passing the ball in heading skill. Heading at the bottom of the ball to move the ball upward. So the position to hitting the ball, whether center for the attacking and bottom for the passing or defense. So for the technique of skill performance, firstly, stay balanced on toes with knees bent and move in line of the path ball. Keep the eyes open to read the path of the ball until impact. Run and jump to make contact with the ball at the highest possible point. Fourth, put arm help to move the head forward. Fifth, keep your shoulders leveled and lean your back and your both foot to the back. Six, move head forward toward the ball and go after the ball aggressively. Seven, to defend and for the bottom to the ball. To direct the ball go upward. To attack. Eight, to attack or passing the ball and at the top half or the center of the ball. And last but not least, landing with slightly bend your knee. So all of this skill, all of this technique, that including on skill, heading skill is important to use by the players to perform the skill properly. So, okay, this is the example of the video that the professional player performing the heading skills properly. And from the heading, they make a goal for their team. Okay, let's watch. Okay, that's the example how the professional player perform the skills with the proper technique and proper technique to perform the skills without any problem. So that's all from me that I want to present to you. So Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Lastly, that is the last of the slides is about conclusion. So I want to conclude all the slides that we make. So the first one is it is important to knowing the muscles and the bone involvement, because it really help to improve the kick and heading skills. The second one is the player need to perform the skill properly, because if they do a mistake, what they achieve is not what they get. Okay, and lastly is understand and identifying all the motion of skills that they make from the skills.